Today, I want to talk about fear and how fear causes so many people to stay stuck or to stay even in burnout, where actually fear and anxiety or maybe resistance are actually an invitation for you to rise to your next level or the more expanded version of yourself. So, to give you an example, I knew that I wanted to create a greater impact. I knew that I wanted my message to be heard. I knew that there were many people who would benefit from hearing what I have to say around burnout, mental fitness, and sustaining high performance. But I had fear, I had resistance of showing up. And I knew that YouTube was probably the next step, but the old contracted version of me was keeping me so afraid, so anxious, and it honestly, it had me stuck for a long time until I decided to look at the fear actually as an invitation and as an indication that that's actually exactly what I need to be doing. And so I started showing up on LinkedIn, the one place that I was afraid to show up. I have gotten so many opportunities. I've made so many new connections online and in person through LinkedIn. It has expanded me tremendously. And then the second part of that was showing up on YouTube. I was so afraid, but I realized that fear is actually an invitation to my next level. And so I started showing up on YouTube. And once I started showing up, I also started realizing that this thing is not bigger than me. Like, the fear will make you feel like certain things are bigger than you or greater than you. But quite literally, there's nothing that you can't do. There's nothing that you can't overcome. It is all mental. All defeat until death is psychological. I got that from Alex Hormozy, and it's so true. Once you can change your perspective to say fear is not an indication, or anxiety or resistance is not an indication to turn back, it's actually an invitation to your most expanded self. So how does this turn into burnout? Or how does this tie into burnout? If you know that you are feeling fatigued, you're feeling burnt out, you're not showing up as your best self in leadership or any other area of life, you usually have an inkling, like there's something that you know you may need to do. For some people, they know that they need to exercise more. For some people, they know that they probably should delegate. For some people, they know that their systems may not be sufficient. Whatever the case may be, it's that one thing that you're not doing because of fear or because of you're basically chartering your, what am I trying to say? You're basically entering uncharted territory for you. But there are plenty of people who have been in that territory, right? So it's not something that can't be done. But for you mentally, you have this contracted version of you that's afraid to enter the expanded version of you. So once you do that thing, that you've been afraid of, that you've been avoiding, that you've been resisting, for some people, it's having a tough conversation with their team, or maybe with themselves, or maybe with a spouse. It's always that thing that you have the greatest resistance against. That is the thing that you need to do. So what I want you to take away from this video is fear is an invitation, okay? Anxiety, resistance is an invitation. I'll give another example. Like, if you think of video games, every level has a villain or a challenge that you have to overcome. And if you fail to overcome, you will continue to repeat that level. But if you want to get to the next level, you have to rise to the occasion. And so everyone who has ever achieved anything great, or anyone who has had any success in any area, it didn't come at no cost. it came at the cost of their old contracted version. They had to rise to the occasion, and they had to overcome that fear and that resistance. And the only way you can do that is by looking at it head on, literally walking straight up to it. And once you do, you'll see that this thing was not actually as big as I made it out to be. For example, when I first started public speaking, doing keynotes and workshops with organizations, I literally could feel like a knot in my chest every time I had to do it. And intellectually, I actually knew that I could, but like practically when I would get ready to do it, or when it was the day before, or even while I'm doing it, I would feel that like it almost felt like a real like weight on my chest. And the old version of me could have just taken that and said, you know what, I can't do this, and just turned back, and I would never be here talking to you guys. I would not be impacting so many people, which is also very selfish, right? So I had to look at that fear head on, and I had to just overcome that fear and see that fear as an invitation. So now in life, whenever I feel fear or resistance, obviously if it's not like life-threatening, right, but like psychological fear or resistance or anxiety, I look at it and I smile, because I know that that's exactly what I need to be doing, right? So I hope this helps someone. Don't let fear hold you back. There is nothing that you cannot do. There is nothing that is bigger than you. Whether it's having a tough conversation, whether it's firing people from your team, whether it's delegating, whether it's having a conversation with yourself that you've been needing to have had, but you've been avoiding because of the fear or the discomfort. That is exactly what you need to be doing.